Hey nerds, Atu here. I'm going to show you another bag full of the books that I was fortunate enough to purchase from a gentleman that had Space Age Books, the bookshop that was in CBD of Melbourne here in Victoria, Australia, back in the 70s and 80s. And again, this guy was seemed to be such a huge member of the science fiction book community back in the maybe late 50s, 60s, all the way up until his unfortunate passing. Um, and just consider it such a privilege that and such an honor to have been able to purchase his collection to make mine. I I'm still in awe of some of the books that are in here, and because they've been sitting in my room in bags for over a month since purchasing them, not being looked at, it's like looking at them for the first time again. So to be able to do that and share with you guys at the same time is awesome. That's no other way to put it. It's just awesome to be able to do that. So I got quite a lot in this one. So again, this is just paperbacks. Excuse me. I various authors. Some I recognise just looking at the top. Some I don't. But we shall see together. So I have where are we? I have a random copy of Jaws. There's pen, paperback. Never read Jaws, and it was always a book to me that just felt like, why would you ever want to read it? I love the movie. I had the movie on 4K, and it was so good, so good. It's from 1974, but I hear the book's really good. So I don't know if I'll ever get around to reading it though, but I'm still happy to have it in a little pen paperback. So that's cool. Is this a fantasy? Yeah, I guess so. This is by Elizabeth Boyer. Elizabeth Boyer? Boyer? Oh, I don't know. The Elves and the Otter Skin. Seems to be a fantasy. Doesn't seem to be a part of a trilogy or anything, or that I know of, but yeah. He did have some fantasies here and there, but 98.89% were science fiction. Get off there. We got Lee Harding, The Children of Atlantis. Lee Harding was a name that I had not heard of before until receiving this collection. So I believe Australian author. I'm guessing. I think. Let's have a look and see if I've got anything about the author in the book. It doesn't seem to be. So, but I like anything with Atlantis in the title. I have a lot of fiction and non-fiction on Atlantis. Absolutely love that concept, I guess. Cool. Got another Lee Harding here, The Fallen Spaceman. Seems to be some sort of like giant compared to the little guy down here. Where are we? John D. MacDonald, The Girl, the Gold Watch, and Everything. One Day with Bonnie Lee was like a 3-year lease on a harem. Okay, is that a sci-fi? Somewhere at this moment, Bonnie Lee and Kirby are driving someone mad and enjoying every moment of it. If you've ever had a yeasty yearning for complete freedom and complete immunity, you will covet something these two have. This book will tell you what to look for and how to use it if you can steal it. Best of luck. Looks like just a suspense thriller or something. Huh, I don't know, but it's got a cool cover. I like that. The Girl, the Gold Watch, and Everything. Beverly McDonald, The Madrigal. For 40 years, the Madrigal has slept, travelling the very fabric of time and space, and now the Madrigal wakes. Not sure what that is. Ender's Game, Orson Scott Card. Just recently read this. Absolutely not this copy. I bought a bunch of them from a secondhand bookshop. Yeah, different cover to this one too. So Love this one. Love this one so much. And I think I'm going to read Ender's Shadow next, because it's basically a companion novel, and I just love this one so much. I want to read Shadow next before I do Speaker for the Dead. Speaking of Speaker for the Dead, we have Speaker for the Dead. I'm pretty sure I have this exact copy. It was one of the ones that I bought, so back when I got Ender's Game. So that's cool. Robert Silverberg. This is edited by Robert Silverberg. Triax. So is this a Triax? 3 totally new, brilliant original novellas. So this has Keith Roberts, Jack Vance, and James Gunn. 3 novellas. Edited by Robert Silverberg. Triax. Very dusty. From him and from sitting in my room as well. Time and Again. Clifford D. Simak. This is an old Simak. I didn't have this one. I've got a lot of Simak, but I did not have this one. And there's certainly not this version. This is an older version for sure. 1967. This printing. It's Penguin science fiction, which I don't know, is that certainly uncommon? I'm sure. I've never seen a Penguin science fiction, certainly out in the wild, but that's so good. Fred and Jeffrey Hoyle, 7 Steps to the Sun. Never heard of them. Is it a scriptwriter decides to tackle a science fiction theme and finds himself living it. In a series of 10-year leaps, Mike Jerome is projected through time from London to the Northern Territory of Australia, California, and the Italian Alps. He encounters the familiar and the bizarre. Ah. Cool. 7 Steps to the Sun. Fritz Lieber, Gather Darkness. I have a few of Fritz that I found somewhere. I had in previous videos, in a previous pickup, but I haven't read any of Fritz yet. I think at that time I got confused with Fritz Lieber and Fritz Lang. David Gerald, Space Skimmer. Not too sure what that is. Del Rey science fiction. We got a real old version of the Pan science fiction variety. Robert Sheckley, Mind Swap. That's cool. I love that little creature thing. That is awesome. It's a bit rough, but again, these are for me, so I don't mind. Seems to be... Is this an old library book? Okay, no, it's from the Record King Records and Books from Wollongong. It was only 25 cents back in the day. I'm trying to see when this one was printed because it's an older... Must be at the back. It's certainly an older printing. Doesn't have a... Maybe there's a page missing. It doesn't have a printing on it. Oh, yeah, there's a couple of pages missing at the front. That's why. But that's awesome. Mind Swap. We've got another Simak here. City. I have this. I don't think I have this version. I think I got a newer printing. So, this is cool. This is a sphere. We got Silverberg, A Time of Changes, the Nebula award-winning novel. Look at that. That is cool. I like that cover. That's fantastic. Cyberskin by Paul Collins. Wow, this one was dusty. Fairly newer one there. A Hybrid Publishers. $2,000. Yeah. Cyber. What did I say it was? Cyber Skin. Oh, this is awesome. This is the best of Cordwainer Smith. I put that one aside. What was it called? Australia. Nostralia. I've put Nostralia aside because that was recommended to me by Bookbuild. So as one to read first. So I am going to read that. I'm about 4 chapters left to go of Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers. Stormship Troopers. Yeah, I have about 4 chapters left to go of Starship Troopers by Heinlein. So when I finish that, I will be doing... Do I want to do Australia next or Ender's Shadow? I'm decided. But this is cool. The best of. Edited by J.J. Pierce. Just wanted to see when this one was from. 1975. Awesome. We got Space Lords. Cordwainer Smith. I love that font. That title is just cool. Space Lords. That's awesome. Great cover. Really cool cover. Harry Harrison, Captive Universe. This is an old Sphere science fiction. Look at that. That is great art. Amazing art. I wish I could sort out this lighting properly so you could see these awesome colours, but you sort of can there. It's pretty good. I've got it on a nice softer light style either side, and I've got it a bit lower than what I'd normally have it, so I think it's probably going to do. The Wizard of Lynn. I'm pretty sure I've shown this before. I certainly recognise that cover. Definitely recognise that cover, so I may have picked that up from somewhere else. I think I got that in that big lot not too long ago. Jack Dan, a dystopia by Jack Dan, The Man Who Melted. I don't recognise Jack Dan. Let me know in the comments if you recognise Jack Dan, because I certainly don't. This one's really cool. This is George R.R. Martin. We know who that guy is. Dying of the Light. Bane, early Bane. I just recently took all my Bane books out of my booth that I had because they weren't selling, and that place is shutting down, so I have to get all my stuff out of there by the end of this month, or end of November. So decided to keep them. So I now have a full collection of Bane. Well, a big collection, not their full collection, but a fairly big one. Trevor Donahue, Savage Tomorrow. I'm not sure, because this has got old prices on them from when he picked them up. So I don't think they were from his store. Robert Anton Wilson, Schrodinger's Cat 2. The I can't read that font. The Trick Top Hat. I know Schrodinger's cat. He's both alive and dead if you leave him in the box. That's cool. And I only know of that because of Stargate. James H. Schmitz, The Universe Against Her. This is the first Talzay Ambadon adventure. I believe I have this. At least I've seen this. Somebody's picked this up, but I've seen this before. But I'm pretty sure I do own that one. We got Morrigue, The Dead by Mark C. Perry. Morrigue the Dead. Questar Fantasy. Not sure on this one. Well, there's another one. Oh, was it the same? Ah, okay. It's another one. So I got 2 copies of that. Oh, there's a fucking another one? There's another one. 3 copies of that. A.E. Van Vogt, The World of Null A, old school Sphere paperback. Science Fiction Classics number 2. Is this a book of short stories? I don't know. Seems to be a full-on novel. Is this the... Oh no. So it's a 1948 story. Yeah, 1970 printing. I was confused. I thought that might have been something else. It's okay. We got the best of A.E. Van Vogt in a fairly sun-faded copy, which is fine for me, as long as I can read it. Which, yeah. Ooh, that one's potent. Mortal Mask by Stephen Marley. Fantasy, mystery, and passion from the shores of long ago China. This is a bit bigger, this one. Sure. Cool. So it's like I don't know, a fantasy based on Chinese mythology, perhaps? Cool. That one down here because it's a bit bigger. What we got? View from Another Shore, edited by Franz Rottensteiner. View from Another Shore. The best of L. Sprague de Camp, with an introduction by Paul Anderson. That's got a cool cover too. This one has never been read. If they did, they didn't crack the spine. How cool is that cover? I really like that. Alison Sinclair, Cavalcade. This was nominated for the Arthur C. Clarke Award. Win Whiteford, Breathing Space Only. I like that cover too. It's quite a thin one, that one. Breathing Space Only, Win Whiteford. Another one, but a different cover. It's got a 3 on there. I don't know what the difference is there, if they're the same. But it's an Australian story, so set in Australia. How cool is that? I really can't wait to read some science fiction set in Australia and set in the outback of Australia, because it is to this day still quite heavy set in like UFO lore and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Female Man. I just recently picked that up, so I might put my copy on my Etsy. This is Win Whitford, Lake of the Sun. Lake of the Sun. The aliens have landed and they are us. Cool. I like that concept too, where we're the aliens. We got a Harry Harrison, The Daleth Effect. This is an old school one, this one. I've never seen this type of printing before. This is Berkeley Medallion, 1970. Second printing 1977. This way. The Daleth Effect. I thought it was going to be the Dalek Effect and thought it might have been a Doctor Who book, but no. Harry Harrison, Planet of the Damned. The Death World trilogy. That is so good, because I was missing the first one. I have 2 and 3. I think I might already have it, actually. Not this one, but this is cooler than the one I've got. I have a... it could be this. I think it's this one. Anyway, that's awesome. Thor's Hammer by Win Whitford. Oh, I got a few Win Whitfords. Australian science fiction. Awesome. The Adventures of Robin Hood, Roger Lancelin Green. Oh, that's pretty cool. Adventures of Robin Hood. I think we all know that. Be interesting to see how that differs from like a lot of the modern day interpretations. Andrea Norton, Witch World. I've never had a copy of the first one. I've always had ones from later in the series, but never a copy of the first one. So I'm so keen for that. Then we got 3 Against the Witch World, Andre Norton. Look at that cover. See, that looks amazing. That to me looks similar to the Pern series, like the older school covers from the Pern series. So that I really like that. That's book 3. We got Theodore Sturgeon, The Dreaming Jewels, in a nice corgi edition, which is a weird sort of like almost vinyl cover. Yeah, I saw a bit of dust. got distracted. Oh, there is a lot of dust here. L. Ron Hubbard, The Slaves of Sleep, in Lancer Books. The only L. Ron Hubbard I have are those books. Yeah, you know the ones, the hardcover ones. I can't think of the names. There's like 10 in the series. We've got a Heinlein. Robert A. Heinlein, Farmhands Freehold. If I was another one of those sort of vinyl covers, vinyl looking covers. If I find that I've got a copy of Starship Troopers in here, I will be very happy. I did buy a new copy of it. That's what I'm reading at the moment. We got Hal Clement, Close to Critical. I do want a vintage copy of Starship Troopers though. One day. Hal Clement, Mission Gravite. Really like that actually. That's a nice cover. Just nice and simple and spacey, and it's cool. Lee Corey, Space Doctor. What's this? A Del Rey. Prodigy by Jane Clark. It's just a rock science fiction, so a fairly sort of more recent, more modern one in comparison. The Best of Hal Clement, edited by Lester Del Rey. So I've got a few from this sort of like best of series. I have no idea what's going on there, but he's helping him, or he's taking his blood. I don't know, but that's cool. A Hole in Space, Larry Niven. I have a few of his Ringworld. I'm pretty sure that's the same guy. Tad Williams. He does fantasy. Oh my god. Tail Chaser. Tail Chaser's Song. Oh yeah, an epic fantasy in the tradition of Watership Down. Ooh, wonder if it's as brutal as that. It's a bit messed up, especially the original. I haven't seen the newer one. Yeah, cool. I used to have a bunch of Tad Williams fantasy back in the day. Jack Wadham's Future War, Australian science fiction. So I don't know if that's Australian author or not. Oh, lots of dust. A.E. Van Vogt, The Man with 1,000 Names. I like that. That's cool. Harry Harrison, Planet of No Return. It looked like any other planet, but it was the planet of no return. That's so good. I haven't read a lot of Harrison, but I've read a bit, and I quite like him. A Fire Upon the Deep by Werner Vinge, another one. Pretty sure I've got a couple of copies of this now. Haven't been checking, but some of these will probably be or might be signed. Not sure. Jesus. Yeah, that's just the old tour. Probably 90s late 80s, early 90s. Heinlein, The Day After Tomorrow, complete and unabridged. This one feels very fragile. It's a signet book, complete and unabridged. 6 daring men stage an incredible revolt to free a conquered America. Original title was The Sixth Column. Oh yeah. Ooh. It's got this cool little advertising in it. Any 3 science fiction for $1. This way. That's really cool. Yeah, that's a very fragile book, that one. Another Heinlein, The Worlds of Robert Heinlein. And wow, this is a big one. I Will Fear No Evil by Heinlein. And did I say that I'm enjoying Starship Troopers? Incredibly different to the movie, which obviously I knew that was going to be, but still, really different. Very, very different. We got Methuselah's Children by Heinlein. I'm pretty sure that cover is messed up. Death Stranding, anyone? I'm pretty sure I have a copy of that. We got The Moat in God's Eye, Larry Niven and Jerry Pournelle. I'm pretty sure I have a copy of this as well, just maybe a different printing. Joe Haldeman, Mindbridge. I'm pretty sure I got a copy of that recently as well. L. Sprague de Camp and Fletcher Pratt. The Brilliant Fantasy Collection, Incomplete Enchanter. Volume 1 of the Magical Misadventures of Harold Shee. Awesome. L. Sprague de Camp, The Purple Pterodactyls. Winner of the Grand Master of Fantasy World. But it's got a... Oh, up here. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on here. The Adventures of W. Wilson Newbury. Ensorcelled Financer. Ensorcelled. What a word. Yeah, The Purple Pterodactyls. Interesting. Yeah, get out of the way. Maxine MacArthur, Less Than Human. The Brilliant Fantasy Classic, The Castle of Iron. More Magical Misadventures of Harold Shee. L. Sprague de Camp, Fletcher Pratt. Hospital Station by James White. Isn't that what I showed off earlier? Again in that sort of vinyl cover. I don't know. Ursula K. Le Guin, The Lathe of Heaven. This is a Avon science fiction. Also a winner of Hugo and Nebula Awards. Awesome. Need to read some Ursula. I haven't read any Ursula before. I have a lot now. Got a lot of her fantasy, actually. We've got another Ursula Le Guin, The Dispossessed. I didn't realize she wrote like sci-fi as well. I thought it was just fantasy. Callahan's Crosstime Saloon, Spider Robinson. This is awesome. This is a ace science fiction, old school. I have some Spider Robinson, but more early 90s covers. So I've heard that they're very fun. We got a William Gibson, Count Zero. It's another one of those covers where you sort of, the more you look, the more you notice. The Best of Murray Leinster, a memorial anthology selected by Brian Davis. This has got an awesome cover on it. Corgi. Check that out. It's almost like a Sword and Sorcery style cover, but done in space. That's cool. Nearly done. We got Robert Sheckley, The Same to You, doubled. pan science fiction there. Damnation Alley by Roger Zelazny. I have so many different copies of this because I picked up a big Zelazny lot last year, so I have a couple of different versions of this book. A for Andromeda, a novel based on the BBC TV serial by Fred Hoyle and John Elliott. A for Andromeda. Haven't heard of it. Best of Arthur C. Clarke, 1956 to 1972, edited by Angus Wells. Sphere science fiction. Greg Bear, Queen of Angels. I know there's a lot of Greg Bear in here actually, but maybe not this bag, but oh, a couple more. Two more to go. Greg Bear, slant, very dusty cover. And lastly, Connie Willis, Doomsday Book. This is an uncorrected proof. Oh, and it's very, very heavy. Let's see if this has got any inscriptions or anything in it. No, nothing like that. It's just publication date is January 2005. So 700 pages. It's an uncorrected proof copy and is not for sale. It should not be quoted without comparison to the final revised text. It does not reflect the quality, page size, or thickness of the finished text. So that's pretty cool. Connie Willis, Doomsday Book. Never heard of it, but pretty cool to have anyway. Oh, yeah. Ow, ran over my toes. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Try to make it a little bit quicker than the last one. Let me know in the comment section down below if there's any there that sort of stand out, because again, they all stand out to me because they just do. But if you have any recommendations out of those, let me know and I shall definitely put them aside. And until the next one, guys, thank you so much for watching and enjoy what you're reading, just whatever it is, and be safe, have fun. Till next one.